Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, June 2nd, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, just to recap, I was offline the past 2 days, so I spent about, I don't know, between 10 p.m. and about 12-ish, midnight or so catching up. Probably, 9 to 12-ish catching up, so I'm a little bit off. So hopefully that won't impact the video today. Any event, thanks for those watching live, and of course those who watch on YouTube later on, as well as those who watch on various mediums and iTunes and so forth. I appreciate it. First up, Google. Remember last week we covered that Google posted a warning about guest blog or article writing just for the purpose of link building or link generation. Google said it's not something they're going to be acting on. I discussed it last week. It seems like it's just a reminder. Google constantly acts on this type of stuff, and it's not something that's going to release a new set of penguin penalties or probably a new set of manual actions. So that's just a note. Gary said that later on. He said, no, this is just a general reminder, and he doesn't expect any new penguin updates or penguin penalties because of it. Of course, we know penguin's real time, so it doesn't really apply there. So again, I was offline, so I did some polls. I posted a poll that we sent out a few months ago asking if you were hit by the Google Fred update. And here's the chart. We had like close to 800 or so responses, so thanks to all those who actually responded. But 46% said yes, they were hit, 37% said no, they were hit, and 60% were not sure. If you remove that 16%, it seems like 55% of the SEOs who filled out that poll said they were hit. Again, I think Fred was pretty big, so I'm not surprised by those results. So the mobile first index, we're still waiting for it to go live. Somebody asked John Mueller if there's going to be some type of like live preview sandbox. So I don't know if you remember, Google did a massive index update where they updated the infrastructure for their index and they codenamed that Caffeine. That update had a feature where SEOs and webmasters or whoever wanted to go to a public beta. It was like www.sandbox.google.com or something like that. They actually could go ahead and play with the Caffeine index before the actual rollout happened. Google had that live for, I think, a few months before they actually rolled it out, at least. Somebody asked John Mueller, are you going to do the same thing for the mobile first index? It's a massive infrastructure update, massive change in Google, how Google's actually handling the mobile index versus the desktop index. And John Mueller said, I don't see that happening, but it's an interesting idea worth discussing with the team, so you never know. But as of now, Google has not even thought about that, so we'll see what happens in the future. This morning, Google posted that they are no longer using DMOZ descriptions and snippets, so you're no longer going to be able to see if you had a great DMOZ description for a title and description for your website or for your web page. Google's not going to use that anymore, and obviously the no ODP robot directive is no longer going to be valid because they're not using they're not using the DMOZ description. DMOZ closed down approximately a few months ago, like 3 months ago or so. And it took, I guess, Google a few months to actually go ahead and act on it. I'm surprised they didn't do this like years ago because because DMOZ was fairly not updated, and it was really, really stale data. So I'm surprised they haven't done this earlier, but now they are finally decommissioning the DMOZ snippets and so forth. Google said their algorithms share data with other algorithms. So I think we covered this once before. I just can't find the post. We're basically saying Google might use like a penguin score and a panda score, mix those scores together to come up with a new algorithm using machine learning. But specifically, Google said at the 16:48-minute video mark, one thing that does happen, though, is that some of our quality information from one algorithm is used in other algorithms where it comes to understanding like how we should be treating these websites. For example, that if we think this website is generally low quality, maybe from a Panda algorithm, then that could flow into other things like maybe crawling or indexing might slow down or stuff like that. So that's how Google might use other algorithms within other algorithms. Google said it's easier to detect if a web page is really slow versus being fast. Paul, one of the leads behind AMP, said the whole area is technically very challenging, which is why I don't comment on it, specifically talking about page speed. And he also said actually determining if a page is definitely slow is easier than determining whether it's fast, he said. So that's very interesting, of course, because the mobile first index is not supposed to have in it a page speed factor, which is something that Google has been downplaying for the past probably a year or so now. Google's fetch and render tool is better than using the cache. So if you go to the Google search results, you click on the little arrow down on a snippet and you click on cache, that will show you a preview of what the website looks like in terms of Google. But Google says no, that's not as what Google actually sees it typically. It's more, you can get a better representation of what Google sees your website as if you click on the Google Search Console, you go to the fetch and render tool there and you go there. So that's a good thing to note. Google said, or they have updated their quality rater guidelines. So the Google Quality Rater Guidelines update, which hasn't been updated since I think March 14th, and now got updated on May 11th. There were small updates to that overall. I think Jennifer Slag has a post about it. They added a few more pages to the document, so definitely take a look at that if you have time. This is cool. This morning, Google, or late last night, Google released a ad experience report tool. It was announced based on their blog post about making a better web and so forth. And they announced two things there. One is new tools for publishers, and two is Chrome will stop showing eventually ads, annoying ads to users. And this is what the tool looks like. I don't know if you can take a look at this, but you can, it kind of looks like Google Search Console a little bit. You zoom in a little bit, and you can see when you bring it up, you have the ad experience report, which shows an overview. If you click on desktop or mobile, it actually looks like this. So I don't have anything that's not received yet, not reviewed yet, and it has no information. But this tool is basically going to go ahead and tell publishers things that that go against their best practices guidelines, like auto playing videos with ads and sounds, flash animation ads, pop-ups, interstitials, ad density higher than 30%, large sticky ads, and the list goes on and on. You can just take a look at this list that I compiled from various Google documents around the ad experience report. So if you want your ads to show to your users, definitely take a look at that because Chrome might be blocking it in the future. Google AdWords announced a new smart bidding feature called Maximize Conversions, and basically that's what it does. It looks at your conversion metrics, and it will try to maximize your bid using machine learning with bid strategies. And you can turn that on over here under the Change Bid Strategy and selecting Maximize Bid under your campaign settings. And finally, it's a very fast video because again I was offline for 2 days and pretty much not that much going on. New Google Shopping feed specification requirements are coming out June 26th. It's not that much in terms of differences. There's a minimum order value that's changing. There's shipping related attributes that are changing and handling time changing, and that's all coming into effect June 26th. So if you are using Google merchant feeds and shopping feeds and so forth, definitely take a look at that post. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. I think nothing is going to be that unusual next week in terms of my schedule, so everything should be pretty good except for Tuesday, which is a pretty busy day. In any event, thanks so much for listening. Again, my name is Barry Schwartz, and today is Friday, June 2nd, 2017. Everyone have a great weekend, and that's the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.